The next topic is about balancing chemical equation. So bago tayo mag-start, let us define what a chemical equation is. So pag sinabi natin chemical equation, it is a representation, pinapakita niya ang isang chemical reaction, kung ano nangyayari, using atomic symbols, numbers, and mathematical operations. Now in this case, this is an example of a chemical equation. Kagaya ng sinabi ko dati sa naming of chemical substances, sa chemical equation, meron tayong two types. Meron tayong the chemical equation per se and the word equation. So for example, this is an example of a chemical equation. Gumagamit tayo ng atomic symbol from the periodic table of elements. Gumagamit tayo ng number para ipakita kung ilang atoms ng isang element ang meron. Ngayon naman, i-compare natin ito sa word equation. Pag sinabi natin word equation, we will have hydrogen plus oxygen to produce water. Ano ang pinagkaiba ng word equation sa chemical equation? Kagaya ng sinabi ko dati ulit doon sa naming, kapag sinabi nating word equation, kahit na hindi ka magaling sa chemistry, kahit na hindi ka magaling sa science, pwede mo siyang intindihin. Hydrogen, narinig mo na yan sa iyong buhay. Oxygen, of course, ang oxygen ay kailangan ng ating katawan para mabuhay. Ito rin yung substance na kung saan yun yung dahilan kung bakit nagkakaroon ng apoy. Because without oxygen, hindi pwedeng magkaroon ng apoy. So, hydrogen and oxygen, parehong gases, will form water. Lahat makakaintindi yun kapag pareho kayo ng sinasalita na wika. So, paano yan? Kapag sa ibang bansa, hindi sila ganito magsulat ng hydrogen. They make use of their own letters. Paano kapag binaybayin ko ito? Hindi na ito maintindihan ng ibang bansa. Samantalang pag sinabi nating word equation, chemical equation, we make use of the atomic symbol. So, ibig sabihin, kahit na nasaan ka sa mundo, kahit na hindi mo sinasalita yung kanilang salita, basta nakita mo yung mga atomic symbol, since universal ang atomic symbol, malalaman mo, maintindihan mo ang nangyayari sa isang chemical reaction. So, yun ang pinagkaiba ng chemical equation sa word equation. Okay, so bumalik tayo sa chemical equation. Bakit nga ba natin kailangan pag-aralan kung ano ang isang chemical equation at kung ano ang balancing? Una sa lahat, at pinaka-importante sa lahat, kailangan natin pag-aralan ang balancing chemical equation in order to abide to the law of conservation of matter, wherein it states that matter can neither be created nor destroyed. So, this is in relation to John Dalton's atomic theory, yung nag-iisang tama, na sinasabi niya na in a chemical reaction, hindi nagkakaroon ng panibagong substance, hindi nagkakaroon ng panibagong element, or hindi nababawasan ng bilang ng atom doon sa mga elements. Ang nangyayari lang is nagkakaroon lang ng rearrangement ng mga atoms. So, pangalawa is, pinopose itong law of conservation of matter because it is the one being observed in nature. Yun yung nakikita natin sa nature. So, sa chemistry kasi, hindi mo lang kailangang mag-abide sa nakikita, kailangan mo ring mag-abide sa hindi nakikita, kailangan mo ring mag-abide sa representational. So, since ito yung nasa nature, kailangan natin mag-abide sa law of nature. So, in this one, we have hydrogen plus oxygen will produce H2O or water. Kung mapapansin ninyo, sa hydrogen dito, dalawa. Nung nakaproduce na siya ng water, dalawa pa rin. So, we are abiding to the law of conservation of matter. Hindi nabawasan, hindi nadagdagan, hindi na bago. Samantalang sa oxygen, dalawa. Tapos nung naging water na siya, naging iisa na. So, nabawasan ng oxygen. At according to the law of conservation of matter, hindi pwede mangyari yun. So, pansinin mo muna natin. Okay. So, dito, sa ating chemical equation, alamin muna natin kung ano yung mga parts. This is the arrow sign. Siya ang naghihiwalay sa ating dalawang part ng chemical equation. Kung saan nakapoint yung arrow, which is dito sa water, this is our product. kung saan hindi naka-point yung arrow, this is our, or these are our reactants. Okay. So, yung arrow ang nagde-decide kung sino ang product at kung sino ang reactants. Kung saan siya naka-point, this will be our product. Kung saan siya hindi naka-point or the opposite of the arrow, these are our reactants. Now, the arrow symbolizes that a reaction has taken place. So, the arrow means it created or creates or yields or produces. So that means dalawang hydrogen plus oxygen na dalawa will create or will yield or will produce H2O or water. So we have your reactants, the products, and maliban dyan, kung mapapansin ninyo, may number. Dito may 2, tapos may 2 doon. Yung mga maliit na number, ibig sabihin nun ay they are subscript. So when we see subscripts, these are the small numbers written before, after an element na kung saan imino-multiply niya yung katabi niyang element sa kaliwa. So dito, may 2 dito na maliit. This is the subscript of hydrogen para ipakita na dalawa ang bilang ng hydrogen. Ganun din sa oxygen. May 2 siya dito, ibig sabihin dalawa ang bilang ng kanyang sinundan. So, dalawa ang oxygen. Dito, may 2 sa gitna ng hydrogen at oxygen. Pero ang bibilangan lang ng 2 ay yung nasa left niya, which is the hydrogen. Yung oxygen, isa lang yan. So that is the power of your subscript. Kung mapapansin ninyo, si hydrogen, si oxygen ay may 2. That is because hydrogen and oxygen are known as your diatomic elements. Now, when we say diatomic elements, these are elements that exist as pairs in nature. So, ibig sabihin, nakikita silang may kakambal na kapareho nilang element in nature. There are 7 of them and you have to memorize them. Kapag isusulat mo sila as an element or hiwalay na substance, kailangan lagi silang merong subscript na 2, kagaya ni hydrogen, ni oxygen, ni fluorine, nitrogen, chlorine, iodine, and bromine. 5, 6, 7. Okay. So these are the 7 diatomic elements. That means if you're going to write them as an element or as a separate element, wala silang ibang kahalo, dapat lagi silang may 2 na nakasulat as a subscript because that is what is being observed in nature. Okay. So maliban sa reactants, sa products, sa subscript, meron tayong last part na pang-balance. Ang tinatawag natin doon ay the coefficient. The coefficient is the one written before the substance at ang power ng coefficient, is to multiply lahat ng mga substances na katabi niya by its number. So for example, we have H2O. Yung 2 na maliit dito is the subscript. Ang imumultiply niya lang ay yung nasa left niya. Kapag meron tayong number na nilagay before the H2O, for example, 3, kapag coefficient, malaking number, ibig sabihin nito ay imumultiply ito sa lahat ng mga element. So that means imumultiply siya sa H at imumultiply din siya sa O. So that means yung hydrogen ngayon, kapag may 3 dito, it will become 6, multiplicative po siya. And then 3 times 1 is 3. So magiging 6 yung hydrogen at magiging 3 yung oxygen. Now, another example, H2SO4. So yung 2 dito ni hydrogen, yung 2 dito ay kay hydrogen lang, yung 4 naman ay kay oxygen lang. If we're going to put the number 2 dito, imumultiply siya sa lahat ng element. So, hydrogen now will become 4. Si sulfur naman ay magiging 2. Si oxygen naman ay magiging 8. So, that is the power of the coefficient. At in balancing chemical equation, coefficient lang ang ginagalaw natin. Hindi natin pwedeng baguhin yung mga numbers na subscript. Dahil kapag binago mo yung subscript, that will be a different substance. So, that is actually the first rule in balancing chemical equation. The first rule is you can only change the coefficient. And you can never change the subscript. Next, rule number 2, the coefficient must always be a whole number. So, from here on out, coefficient will be referred to as C. So, dapat whole number siya. Pag sinabi natin whole number, these are your counting numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Walang decimal, walang fraction. So, this should be whole number. Hindi pwede magkaroon ng decimal place. Or, I mean, decimal point. And rule number 3, dapat lowest term tayo lagi ng coefficient. So, let us try on this one. Using the rules, tatlo yung rules natin. Number 1 is coefficient lang ang pwedeng palitan, never the subscript. Pangalawa is, ang ating coefficient must be whole number. Pangatlo is, dapat naka-lowest term yung ating coefficient. Now, balik tayo dito sa H2 plus O2 will produce H2O. So, dito, dalawang hydrogen, remember sinabi ko kanina na yung arrow nagsaseparate, dapat equal yung bilang ng atoms sa reactant at sa product. Kung ang H natin dito sa reactant ay dalawa, dapat ang H din natin sa product ay dalawa. Pareho siya, diba? So that means balance ang ating hydrogen. Next naman, we have oxygen. Dalawa tayo sa reactant, isa lang sa product. Pwede pa tayong maglagay pwede ba nating alisin yung 2 dito para mabalance na agad, wala ng problem? According to rule number 1, we cannot because we cannot change the subscript. The subscript are there permanently. So, coefficient lang ang pwede nating palitan. So, hindi tayo pwede mag-erase or magbawas ng subscript. Number 2, or second attempt. So, si oxygen dito ay dalawa, doon isa, pwede ba ako maglagay ng 0.5 or 1/2 na coefficient? According to rule number 2, the coefficient can only be whole numbers. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pwede maglagay dyan ng 0.5 or 1/2 or 0.35 or kahit na anong uri ng decimal place or decimal point. Next is, kung maglagay kaya ako dito ng 4, so, ibig sabihin, kapag naglagay ako ng 4 dito, si hydrogen dito ay magiging 8. Dito, 2. Anong number ang pwede kong ilagay dito sa coefficient ng hydrogen para maging 8 din siya? So, dito kasi 4 times 2, 8 ang kay hydrogen. Dito ay dadalawa, kaya maglalagay tayo ng 4 para maging equal yung bilang ng hydrogen. Next, si oxygen naman dito ay 4 times 1. So, this 4. Dito, dadalawa. So, what number could I put to oxygen para maging 4 din ang bilang niya? So, I could actually add 2. So, tignan natin kung balance na. So, 4 times 2 is 8 sa hydrogen, sa reactant. Sa product naman, 4 times 2 is also 8. Okay, so balance na si hydrogen. Next naman si oxygen. Si 4 times 1 is 4. Sa product, sa reactant naman is 2 times 2 is 4. So that means, balance na ngayon ang bilang ng hydrogen at ng oxygen sa bawat reactants at product. Yun nga lang kasi, ang ating nalagay na coefficient is 4 to 4. Balance siya using those coefficient. Yun nga lang, we have to abide to rule number 3. Dapat naka-lowest term ang coefficient. So we have to find a number that can be divided sa lahat ng mga coefficient para maging lowest term siya. So, it turns out that 4, 2, and 4 can be divided by 2. So, alisin si 4, gawin nating 2. So, 2 divided by 2 is 1. Pwede kang maglagay ng 1 or blank. Anyway, kapag naglagay ka ng blank, it is considered as 1. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. So, 2, 1, 2. Kapag dalawa ang nilagay natin, 4 ang hydrogen. Dito, 4 din ang hydrogen. ang oxygen is 2 times 1 kay dalawa. Si oxygen ay may subscript na 2 kay dalawa. So that means it is now balanced. Always remember the rules. Never forget them. Dahil marami ang nagkakamali sa rules. Lalong-lalo na sa rule number 3 na dapat naka-lowest term ang coefficient. In all my years of teaching chemistry, parang tagal-tagal na. So in my 5 years of teaching chemistry, laging nadadali sa rule number 3. So pagka na-balance na ang chemical equation, balikan ulit, tignan baka pwede pa siyang i-lowest term. Okay? Ngayon naman, there are two ways to balance the chemical equation, and we're going to discuss that in another video